links to acid. And today we're doing what if Deku had a plasma quirk. So let's start off with his quirk. So he can control these types of plasma like Aurora. By Aurora I mean he can create like illusions. Like he can create illusions of himself and stuff like that. Lightning, plasma, like plasma ball, I mean like electricity. He can control nuclear, he can control nuclear stuff. Neon signs, he can create energy blasts and wielding. He can create things. Okay. So let me tell you what each thing means. Like for Aurora, this is in description. He can create clones of himself, which can't do anything. Make someone think that they're doing something. If he's versing someone, he can make them think that they killed him, right? But in reality, they just think they killed him. But in reality, he's still alive, and he could be behind them and create a electric sword or something, and just end their lives. Anyway, for lightning, he can create lightning bolts. He can control lightning that comes at him, and electricity that comes at him. For plasma ball, he can create little balls of electricity. Unlike lightning, these balls are extremely hot and strong. So they're moving the plasma, the lightning come out of the this inside of the ball is moving so fast. It's basically like a circle, like a sphere. And if he runs at you and just puts it at your body, it'll just go through you. Nuclear, you can create little nuclear explosions, not Bakugo explosions, but little nuclear things. He can create little nuclear shurikens and stuff like that. For neon, he can create neon swords, neon blasts of energy. And for welding, he can create things with metal, he can create control fire a bit. So anyway, this is what he's gonna look like when he's using his power. That's electricity, that's fire, and I haven't told you this, but it's kind of like this guy right here. Ugh. Stop. So it's kind of like this guy right here. As you can see, he gets energy from the sun, right? As you can see, he has these types of abilities. What is this? What's happening right now? So I can okay, that's wrong. What is this here? Right, he can create little let's just read this ability thing, right? So anyway, let's get back to the story. So yeah, that's his quirk stuff. And in this image, it shows his hair being as you can see, a bit green, but in reality, he has his hair is wacky, green in the middle, then red stripes, white stripes, and yellow stripes, and blue stripes. Anyway, Izuku Midoriya was born. Everything's the same in the anime until the day when Bakugo was born, that little kid. And if you read this thing, you would see that he can create if he's attacked by fire energy or electricity, he can control Izuku can control it. So anyway, that day Izuku ran in and Bakugo tried to fire an explosion at him, but instead of getting destroyed, which he would have in the anime, but plot armor, Izuku Midoriya, as they call him Deku, which I'm going to call him Deku because it saves a lot of time. Deku, right before it hits him, it just like goes into his hands. Like it creates like he like creates an orb around the explosion, and it goes to his hand. So it's like, if you think about it, it's like a plasma ball, but inside the orb, without that one thing at the bottom, inside the orb, right, it's explosions that are trying to explode out, right? And Bakugo's like, damn, son, your quirk is nice, but that doesn't matter, I'll still beat you up. And Bakugo kept on firing explosions, each one bigger than the last one. But Izuku was like, if I can control his, if I can do that with explosions, what else can I do? So Izuku lifted up his hands like, can I make my own explosion? And when the explosions hit Izuku, instead of it hitting, like actually hurting him, it goes to his hand and explosions are just popping out of his hand. He's like, I can create explosions too. So then he fired it back at Bakugo, and when Izuku tried to create a new explosion, he couldn't. So it was like, can I control things that are coming at me? Is that it? This is so stupid. Izuku said under his breath. And Bakugo was like, you can stop my quirk. And at this point, when Izuku fired them back, they were not strong. Like, you know a magician when he creates like fire, like flash paper or whatever? That's how strong, that's how fast they went out. So Bakugo was shaking like, Izuku, can you just... And before he finished that sentence, he was like, sneak attack! And he just saw another explosion at Izuku, and the same thing happened, except this time, he created created explosion gloves around his hand. Like, explosions were literally around his hand. Like, can you see like fire around in Izuku's hand? It's like that, but it's all around his hand. Like, yeah. So anyway, Bakugo's like, you need to go to the quirk doctor. And he went to the quirk doctor. And the quirk doctor said, wow, you're gonna be the only person. You're gonna be a world first. You're gonna be the only person with a quirk with 2 bones. And I think this is after he got his first quirk test. So anyway, the first time they did the wrong tests. Like, they were just like throwing sticks at him. Like, he must have a telekinesis quirk, right? And he didn't control it. So anyway, you're like, you controlled your friend's explosions. Maybe let's shoot some energy ball. And they threw an energy ball at him, and then he like caught the energy ball and was like, no. And he just turned it into a stream of energy, and it hit the doctor, but it wasn't strong. It was insanely weak. So then it was like, energy's kinda like, plasma. Let's shoot. Does anyone here have a nuclear quirk? And this kid was like, and then this guy was like, I have a nuclear quirk, and this quirk like lets him show, like tiny nuclear explosion, like nuclear explosions from the tip of his index finger, and he shot one at Izuku, and he controlled it, and he was like, does anyone have a lightning quirk? And they shot a lightning bolt, he controlled it. Then they like, fire, controlled it. Bright light. You see neon, it's gonna be controlling light, and Aurora is gonna be controlling energy. Like, does anyone have like a light attack or quirk? He's like, I do. Now in the room there was like 5 different quirk doctors, all shooting their quirks at Izuku. And then the guy with the light quirk shot it, and then Izuku controlled it, and they were like, And the quirk doctors, all the quirk doctors were like, And then at the same time, they all said, your son has a plasma quirk. But I want to test one thing out. Can he? Let's give him a bit of metal. If I'm correct, he can do stuff with metal. like this guy. As you can see, he can create like through metal, which lets him blah blah blah. And like give him metal, right? And with the metal, he created the sword. But when they touched it, it was extremely hot, like extremely hot. And they're like, I know what your son's quirk is. It's called plasma. And Inka's mom was like, what does that do? And the quirk uncle was like, well, plasma allows him to do what I just told you guys about, so I don't really have to re-explain it again. So anyway, Inka was like, why isn't this quirk like ours? And he was like, it's called a mutation. Its quirk is entirely different than yours. And then Inka was like, this quirk's quite powerful. Maybe he could become a #1 hero. And Inko went all endeavor on Suku. Made him train every day, like 10 push-ups a day, 10 sit-ups a day, 10 squats a day, like stuff like that. 1 kilometer run, and then that increased. And then, like when he was 6, he was doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 100 pull-ups, a 10-kilometer run. And by the time he was 7, he was like dark. He had full muscle. He was like had a lot of muscle. So he had a lot of muscle, right? He had a lot of muscle. Like he was like bulging muscle guy. And it wasn't like bulging, but it was like he had abs, but they weren't like coming out of his t-shirt or anything like that. Like if you punched him, you could feel how strong his biceps and triceps were. And he could bench about 40 at the age of 10. 40 pounds, and about like 18 kgs. I don't know what the difference is, like what they do. Anyway, he was quite strong, and through these years, he was very lonely. Insanely lonely. Like anime lonely, but he didn't get bullied. He was like insanely lonely. He had like one friend, let's call him Jay.